Hi, my name is Sataki Tavachinan. My student ID is 62100694. So our group today is going to present about how to build a good relationship. What is relationship building all about? Relationships are the building blocks for all community organizing activities. Whether you want to organize a volleyball game or get rid of unfair housing practice in your town, you will need lots of good relationships. Why? Because the relationships we have with our coworkers, the community we serve, the communities we serve, and even our adversaries are the means for achieving our goals. People don't work in isolation. We need to be working with other people because it is our relationship all added together that are the foundation of an organization effort to change. We need lots of people to contribute their ideas, take a stand, and get the work done, right? So it is also the people who motivate us to reach our goals. As community builders, we care deeply about people and caring is part of our work. It is our caring for others that motivates us to work as hard as we do. It is often the health and happiness in our children, neighbors, and co-workers that we hold fixed in our minds as we push ourselves to overcome obstacles and take on challenges that can feel overwhelming. If you are the official leader or an active citizen without an official title, you will be most effective if you establish many strong relationships around yourself in a community. In this section, you will talk about building and sustaining relationships and give you some practical tips and general guidance. So, as Stephen Conway has said, building and repairing relationships are long-term investment. Next, why do we need to build and sustain relationship? Let's look at this example. Suppose you want to organize a block party in your organization. What kind of relationship do you need to make these activities happen? Who will help you plan the block party? You don't want to do all the planning and legwork by yourself, right? So it would be much more fun, not to mention easier, to work with a few neighbors to make this block party happen. How do you get local approval and cooperation? In many towns, you need the city council or government groups to approve block party permission. Having a friend or two in local government might help you figure out how to work your way through the bureaucratic hoops to get your permit. If you don't know anyone, you can build some relationships along the way. Who else might lend a hand? If you already have a relationship with your corner grocery store owner, she might donate some watermelon, fruits, or drink for the block party. If you know your neighborhood firefighters, they may be willing to bring over a fire engine for the children to join or to climb on. Do you have a friend who is a clown? And so, who will come to the block party? In order to have a successful block party, you want as many people from your block to come as you can get, right? If your neighbors know you or anyone else on the planning committee, they will be much more willing to overcome their shyness and show up. Overall, the more people you know, the easier it will be to organize a block party and the more fun it will be for everyone. So the more people you know, the easier it will be to organize a block party and the more fun it will be for everyone. It is just example. The fundamental reasons to build a relationship. Community buildings occur one-to-one. You need to build a relationship with people one-to-one if you want them to become involved in your group or organization. Some people become involved in organizations because they believe in the cause. However, many people become involved in community group or organization just because they have a relationship with another person who is already involved. We need relationships in order to win allies to our cause. In order to get support from people outside organization, we need to build relationships in which people know and trust us. Our relationship gives meaning and richness to our work and to our lives. We all need a community of people to share the joys and the struggles of organizing and making community change. A little bit of camaraderie goes a long way. So, to recap, we need relationships in order to win allies to our cause. In order to get support from people outside our organization, we need to build relationships in which people know and trust us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Manita Pudimata. My student ID is 621-00635. When do you build and sustain relationships? We do it all the time. And if you take an extra 5 minutes to ask someone who is solving and works, how they think the basketball team is doing this year, you will have made a stronger relationship to get with them too. Some relationships require more time than others. Assume you may want to meet for lunch once a month, and you have to need to meet twice this week with a staff member who has some build up resentment about the job. As we are often under anonymous pursuer that distract us from paying attention to relationship, we feel the urgency of achieving important goals. We mistakenly feel that spending time on relationships is puffy stuff and that make the person feel good but doesn't get the job done. Often, however, relationships are the key to solving a problem, to getting the job done, and building and sustaining many solid, strong relationships is central to our work as community leaders. Next one. About relationship are the groundwork. Often building relationships is the groundwork that must be like before anything else gets done on the project. The bigger the project, the more relationships you will usually need and need as foundations. And for example, if you are organizing coalitions of community groups that will work to create a multicultural art center, it would be a good idea to get to know people in each organization before trying to get them together work on the project. When you plan the project, you need to include the time to take a build relationships in your plan, and people need time to build the trust. Whenever people work together, they need to have trust in people. People have to trusting relationship too, and when trust is missing, people usually have a difficult time functioning cooperatively. They worry about the risks, and disagreements seem to erupt over no important reasons, investing time, resource, and one's organizational reputations can be risky. At the least, people want some return for their investment, and they have to feel like you know them as a person, understand their interests and will not let them down. Okay, back to multicultural art center example. If create ones will involve solo community groups, and if you don't know them well and they don't know each other, let's start work together on a small group. And for example, you can join sponsor an evening of culture sharing. If the everything is success, you will have gain some share trust and confidence on which to build, and you can plan solo similar event that will build trust over the period of time. And uh, if things are not going well, and you should back up and try an easier challenge. You will begin to hold discussions on the multicultural art center, and people show sign of apprehensions rather than excitement. Slow down the process and take on an easier challenge until strong relationships are better established. For about establish relationships before you need them. Is always better to build relationships before uh, you need them or before a conflict arises. If you already have a good relationship with the grocery store owner in the neighborhood, you will be in a better position to help solve a conflict between him and some neighborhood teens. If you have already established a relationship with your school committee representative, she might be more willing to respond to your opinions about special education funding. And last one, establish relationships in a crisis. It is not impossible to establish relationships during a crisis, and often a crisis can bring people together. While it may seem unusual, make the more of the organization crisis and call for call for help, and people will like to call, and you can build relationships when you are in need, because people often want to help.
Good morning. My name is Millie Mongsinchai. My student ID is 621000636. So the next topic is the 7 key habits for building better relationships. So while individuals may be highly brilliant and talented, few of us work in vacuum. So therefore, our ability to develop relationships with others determines how successful we will be in our workplaces and in our relationships outside of work. People are not born with natural abilities to develop and build great relationships with others. These are skills like any other that can be learned and mastered if one recognizes the needs and takes the time and effort to develop them. So we can all become a better relationship builders by clearing our minds and practice a few basic necessary acts. Okay. First, become a great listener. Everyone has the basic desire to be heard and understood, but unfortunately, few of us are taught how to be a great listener. Most people are too busy thinking about what they want to say next to really listen to what other people is saying. When you notice yourself doing this, take a breath and correct your pattern by listening well. We naturally bond with people who really listen, hear us, and that we would want to spend time with them. Second, ask the right questions. The best way to let people know what we hear them is to make sure that we first understand what they're saying. To do this, we dig deeper and ask questions. We repeat back to them what they say in our words to make sure what we heard makes sense to us. One possible way of making this happen is to say, what I heard you say was blah, blah, blah. When others sense that we are making a sincere attempt to understand them, they tend to open up and share more with us. This deepens the relationship and places us in the category of people they want to seek out and talk to. Third, pay attention to the whole person. We tend to remember and appreciate the people who ask us if everything is okay, even if we haven't told them that anything is wrong. This tells us that they are paying attention to us, and we all want that. So when someone is speaking, focus not only the tone of their word, but also their facial expression and body language. Notice when someone's word doesn't match their facial expression or their body language. This will open the door to have the deeper, more meaningful conversations that will lead to developing the trust and stronger connection. Fourth, remember things that are important to others. There is no more beautiful sound to our ears than the sound of our own name. Remembering people's names is the first step to relationship building, and remembering other important aspects about them continues the building process. They will tell us what is important in their lives. All we need to do is listen and pay attention. When they are speaking about their family members, an event or hobby and their face light up, remember this fact and it is important to them. We don't have to remember everything about them, just focus on their names and one important piece of information. Some people know for building relationships keeps a small portfolio of important information on significant people in their lives, so they'll have a written record to refer to in order to keep the facts accurate. Fifth, be consistent and manage emotions. People whose moods swing from hot to cold have a difficult time creating meaningful relationships. Regardless of how we are feeling, we need to be able to temporarily put those feelings aside to fully listen and engage others that are important in our lives. If we are going through a period where we are experiencing a strong emotion that keeps us from being fully present with other people, we are better off letting this individual know what is going on for us rather than pretending to listen. They will appreciate our honesty and openness. Sixth, be open and share when the time is right. We all know people who tell us their whole life story in the first 5 minutes of meeting us, totally oblivious to the fact that we likely have absolutely no interest in hearing it. To build strong relationships, we need to be able to pace ourselves and share when it's appropriate and at a level that is consistent with the depth of the relationship. Good relationship builders show they are sharing the feeling of the other by mirroring emotions of the person speaking. Sharing excitement, joy, sorrow, frustration, and disappointment helps connect us to others. When possible, share a situation from your own experience to show that you can relate to others' experience, but never so that it overshadows or competes with their experience. This requires empathy and sensitivity to their feelings. And last, 7, be genuine, confident, humble, trustworthy, positive, and fun. People who build great relationships feel good about who they are and always look for the positive in the world. They genuinely want the best for others and want to see them in success. The energy of people who are comfortable in their own skin, upbeat and positive, creates an atmosphere where we feel good, we want to be around them and want to spend time with them. They don't gossip about others and keep what we tell them in confidence. Being self-confident, they don't feel the need to draw attention to themselves. They always have time for the significant others in their lives. There are lifelong learners who are always open and looking for opportunities for self-improvement.
Hi, my name is Shadon Nagrusad. My ID number is 621000616. And today I'm gonna represent you about, in my part, 8 lessons for the importance of the building relationship in the workplace. For number 1 is improve the collaboration. Co-workers who have positive relationship with one another are more likely to perform well when working together on a project. Having teammates you respect and motivate you to perform to the best of your abilities and good communication with them can help all of you perform various tasks, more efficiency, collaboration among teams members typically result in less ambiguity in communication, and everyone is more clear on exactly what are their specific tasks are. And for number two, it's improve individual productivity. We start improving overall productivity by having team members who understand each well, other well. Having positive office relationships can improve your own productivity and job-related skills. People who enjoy working with their co-workers tend to consciously and unconsciously work harder as they enjoy their current situation and want their company to do well in the future. For number three is it's improve employee morale. The psychological state of an organization's employees is typically related to their overall productivity. Having a good relationship with the people you spend many hours with each workday can improve your morale, which can have a positive effect on your professional output. For number four, it's improve employee retention rates. A term that retains its key member usually delivers better long-term results. As everyone is accustomed to the professional styles and attitudes of their workers, employees who feel connected to each other and to the company are less likely to seek employment elsewhere, not only because they're satisfied professionally, but also because the professional relationship they have with their co-worker can be difficult to rebuild elsewhere. For number five, it leads to a transfer of skill and knowledge. A team with both senior and junior members is more likely to deliver a good long-term results. Its members enjoy positive relationship with each other. Collaborative team setting can lead to a transfer of skills between the more experienced worker and the less experienced worker one. This ultimately benefit both the workers and the organization. Number six, it's improve your health. Having a strong social support is widely regarded as being an important factor for physical health. While social isolation is typically associated with a higher risk of developing serious health issues, although this applies to your personal life as well. Having positive relationship and social interaction at work can keep you physically and mentally healthy. For number seven, it's improve creatively. Having a strong relationship with your coworkers can stimulate you think creatively. Working in an environment that where you feel relaxed about displaying your own personality can provide you with the inspiration and support you need to produce innovative ideas and tools that can lead more efficient way of doing things. For the last one, for number eight, it facilitates the intake of new team members. A team of co-workers who can know each other well and have positive relationship can make it easier for a new team member integrate, as they can observe how team members relate to each other and gradually adopt those behaviors or to joining a well-established team can be difficult at first. Working within a group of people who enjoy positive relationship is likely to help you integrate quickly. And that's the end of my part.
How do you sustain relationships? Okay, now you have built some relationships. Relationships like any other living things need care to keep them alive and healthy. So what do you do with them to keep them going? First, pay attention to people. Check in with people when you need to. This may take only a few minutes a week, but those few minutes can make the difference in helping your friends or coworker remember the importance of the work you are doing together. Second, communicate openly. People need to communicate. It is a good idea to set aside some time just to talk about the way things are going. When people do not have a chance to talk about important issues, misunderstanding can occur and tensions often build up. Communication is a discipline line that has to be practiced regularly. It is like taking vitamin or doing push-ups. Third, appreciate each other. Everyone needs to be appreciated in order to keep relationships going. If you notice that someone does a stellar job of collecting the necessary data of the committee, say so. If you enjoy working with someone, let them know. We are all human beings. The appreciation helps us progress. Fourth, extend yourself. Go a little out of your way, at least once in a while. If your coworker needs to spend some extra time with his daughter, you might tell him go home early and you will finish up the grand proposals. 5. Volunteer to do some work for their organizations if they are not already in yours. If you lend them a hand, they are likely to think well of you and give something back in return. 6. Challenge each other to do better. We all need a buddy to help us strengthen ourselves beyond what we think we can do. We can also build stronger relationships by challenging our work partner to take on a biggest challenge. And the last one, back each other when things get hard. Loyalty is essential to keeping relationships healthy. We may not agree with a coworker or friends, but we can stand by him or her when they are in a jam. In summary, building and sustaining relationships are at the heart of organizing community. The strength of community lies in the strength of the connection that we have to each other. With strong connections, people have the power to make real change. Building this connection takes time, but it is worth it. Relationships are often the source of our greatest joys and greatest challenge. Understanding relationships is no simple task. People are so unique and complex that there is no easy formula. Central to almost every religion is the idea that we should treat our neighbors the way we would like to be treated. If you keep that in mind, you will most likely succeed in building relationships that you can depend on. Whatever you are, a leader or follower, you have ability to build a community of friends, colleagues, associates, ally, partner, and buddy around you. Together, there is no telling